Hey.
I'm good. How are you? Good.
Guys, y'all are live.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Not you, but
Jeremy reminded us.
why are they at 5:30?
He just obviously did it, so it wasn't
On the cruise?
Yeah.
later, so I just like,
Such an odd.
that's what we decided.
And all the superhero cool Star Wars cool. Yeah, it's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Hi.
Where are the pies, man? Where are the pies? Need more pie. They didn't last long. Oh, and thanks a lot for the apple one. That was a trick.
No one's getting
Yeah,
those
that was a
burgers, huh?
trick.
Holy ranch.
I got all excited
gummy
staring at
bears.
the box that said apple at me all night, and then I go home and
No, the big box.
nothing.
No, the big box.
Well, it was pretty light, so when I
I didn't think
got
about
home,
this. They had the other ones on top, and it had magazines on top.
anymore.
I went over and I'm like,
my daughter was excited. She took it to her play kitchen and started. Yes, the day after.
I was just so disappointed. I was like, staring. Oh, good though.
I
You
owe
can
you a
order.
response. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. Here.
I was thinking I was to find this.
The chaos of life.
Oh, it is.
I like the Jeopardy music now. I like your music.
I know what's going on. Where's my Michael Bublé? Where's my
Like
Michael
the elevator
Bublé?
music time. 2 minutes, the clock says 5
God,
minutes.
it's such a great day. The weather finally changed.
We had no school days. We were
Oh, I know.
outdoors most of the day. It was nice. Okay, it's 5:30 p.m. I'm gonna call this meeting to order. It is October 16th, 2023, and this is our special council meeting. Lori, can I get roll call?
Mayor Young,
Here?
Vice Mayor Brandon,
Here.
Councilmember D'Ambra, Councilmember Painter,
Here.
Councilmember Shortway.
Here.
Thank you. All right, tonight we are here to consider applications to temporarily fill the vacant council seat 1. And Jeremy, do you have anything to kick us off with?
Just a recap, the voters chose in the last charter election to allow us to appoint somebody to this position. On the September 21st workshop, council came to consensus to have this meeting tonight to discuss the process. Also, council, acknowledged the fact that it could be that we delay or postpone decision or not appoint it at all. So tonight, your guys' decisions are we going to appoint somebody to the seat? And then when are we going to appoint somebody to the seat if the answer is yes to the first question? So with that, that's the recap.
Okay, thank you. Keith, do you have anything to add?
And just to be clear, this appointment would, if the council appoints someone into this vacancy, that would carry through the March 2024 election. So somebody, whether it's the person that gets appointed or other qualified residents, will have to qualify for that seat, because this appointment at the most carries through to the March 2024 election. So you're talking about 5 months. It's a 5-month period. And then by charter, both by charter and by the virtue of the fact that the seat Mr. D'Ambra resigned would have been up anyway, that someone has to qualify and run for the next full 2-year term.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and council, if you agree, I'm gonna go ahead and first call up each applicant in the order that they are on the agenda, hear what they have to say, and then we can, I'll open to ask each one any questions, and then we can have discussion after.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, first up, Ruben Cruz. And each applicant, if you just want to, tell us a little bit about yourself, why you think you are the best person for the vacant seat, and maybe, any relevant to Cuesta topics or issues that you're passionate about.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Ruben Cruz, 236 River Drive, for the record. I've put my name into the hat considering my municipal background. Been a public servant for over 20 years for different municipalities, and it's something that I hold passionate. And given the point that I am in my life, the community I've chosen to live in, which is this wonderful village, it's something that I want to do, and I feel that with everyone that sits up here, it's something that I can bring my attributes, my qualities, my qualifications to the table and help with some of the valid and important items that are going to be coming before this village in the future. So with that, I also want to say, the village is something special to me. Before we even lived here, we were in the Jupiter area, and we would come and participate in the farmers market that the village put on very early on. I think Lori remembers those because she's been here that long. And it was just the sense of community that the village had. And that's something growing up from down south as a native Floridian, you kind of see the changes that have occurred. And always coming up to this area, I always felt that it was something special. It was always calling to me. And that's why I chose to move here. And when having a family, I decided this is where I want to be. This is where I want to raise my family. And having 2 beautiful girls and a loving wife, I put everything that I had to be here to get to this point. And with that, it's also giving back to the community. Some of you know I coach soccer. Jason and Ava's here as well. I participate in coaching, and I enjoy it because I also believe it's giving back. It's that civic-minded quality that I just have. It's in me to give back and wanting to make it better. Little saying, leave it better than what you found it. And that's what I believe in. And given this opportunity, I feel this is something that I can come to and assist this wonderful village move forward in the sense that it is. It's something that, I love vintage things, but I have a modern mind. And with the background that I have in government, knowing all of the, what I can say, loopholes and trickery that people come before the village and trying to get applications approved or trying to do code text amendments. I'm just using some recent examples. Those are things that you all have thought about, researched, and done your due diligence on and come out with some good outcomes. And that's something that I want to contribute to. While we sit up, I say we, if I were to be selected, sit up there on the dais with you and speak openly about these situations and how we can confront them, make them better, or help to move an application along in the right direction that our residents and the village deem fit. That's very important. I'll say again, with a lot of the things that I see as a professional coming before other municipalities and the county itself and neighboring municipalities and counties, it's something that we have to think of. And having the qualifications, the background to sit up there and be a part of a team that encompasses you all is something that I feel I can bring some value to you. And that's what I want to do. And granted, we have a lot of respondents, which is great to see, because also as a municipal employee for over the 20 years, I say it's rare that you see these many people interested. And then also the fact to run. And that's something that I'm willing to do. If whatever decision you make, I'm happy, I'm fine with it. That's how it goes. In sports, you win, sometimes you lose as well. But you learn from it and you move on. So if the decision is to just, we're going to let it be or select somebody else in their interim, I'll still be throwing my name in the hat as it's marked there and moving forward to hopefully join you up there soon. So I just want to say thank you for the time, and I hope you choose me.
Thank you. And council, any questions?
I don't have any, nothing.
I don't have any. Thank you, though. That was great.
Okay. All right. Next is Julie Mitchell.
Hi there. My name is Julie Mitchell, 86 Gulfview Drive. I applied for the seat and am not interested in running for the permanent seat. I was listening and watching the meeting that you had, the special meeting, and talking about the seat and how several members felt that maybe not appointing somebody who was going to run in order to not give them favoritism, and it made me think I would be a great fit. I've worked in local government for over 25 years. I sit on design review for the town of Jupiter. I work part-time, so I do have some time. My kids are teenagers now. I speak the language of planning and zoning and local government. I've had a lot of classes on the Sunshine Law and ethics and fill out that paperwork already. Within about a month of moving here, I joined the Employee Pension Board. I think Councilor Sartori joined at the same time as I did, so we were here at that meeting. I started a cleanup in Tequesta Country Club with my kids, so I got involved in the village the minute I moved here. I plan to stay involved, not running for the seat, but once my pension board is done, I'll try another committee, maybe planning and zoning or maybe something else. I think it would be a very quick learning curve for me to get started and serve out the remainder of somebody's term. Thanks.
Thank you.
Council, any questions?
No, but thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, Julie. All right, next up, Harrison Vaughn.
Good afternoon, Harrison Vaughn. I have obviously put my name in to fill the vacancy. I think I'd be a great resource for the village. I am a North Palm Beach County native, born and raised in and around Jupiter and Tequesta. Have lived here for quite some time, raising my family. I know most of you on a personal level, and I'm glad to see that I know most of the other applicants for this seat as well, one way or another, and I think it's great that we have such a strong interest in the position, whether it's me or anyone else. My day-to-day, from a occupational standpoint, I'm in risk management. I help businesses with their occupational and contractual risk, so I think that would translate well into the village and being a resource. Many of you know that I've previously run for council. So I've had a great opportunity to speak with the voters of Tequesta and village residents, as well as Firefighters Union, PBA, other organizations, and get their opinions and input. I think I would be a great resource and look forward to your decision.
Thank you. Council, any questions?
No, but thank you.
No, thanks, Harrison.
Your screen just went blank. Sorry. Okay. Next up, Vincent Siglia. Did you say that right? Is he here? Haven't checked in. Okay. Moving on, Jason French.
Approaches for the documents. I just handed Lori some resume documents for each of you to have, just for further reference. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. My name is Jason French. I'm a proud Tequesta resident, 39 Willow Road. I've been married to an amazing, supportive wife over here for 14 years, who homeschools our 3 children. She's the director of a large homeschool community. Together, we have chosen the village to bury our roots and raise our family. For the past 17 years, I've served as a firefighter paramedic while simultaneously running multiple small businesses in multiple industries. I've had the privilege to work extensively with local, state, and federal elected officials to pass city ordinances, states bills, and fund federal grant programs. I believe my unique combination of experience, commitment to my family and community, and love of the village of Tequesta makes me the best option for the appointment of council. The village is currently facing issues like creation of Jupiter Fire Department, sunset of the 1 cent tax revenue, and bridge closure affecting our businesses. The creation of a new fire department poses the risk of losing valuable employees. The village has invested highly in and training those firefighters over years, who could potentially choose to take their experience to the newly formed Jupiter Fire Department. The village would be forced to replace these employees with less experienced firefighters and begin the investment in their training all over again. We need to ensure that Tequesta is a great place for all employees to work, while retention of our public safety is paramount. The village must seek alternative ways to replace the 1 cent tax revenue while avoiding increased taxes to our citizens. At the same time, keeping our employees paid competitively. One solution to alleviate the loss of the 1 cent tax revenue is to apply for federal public safety grants. For the past 8 years, surrounding cities have received these grants and millions of assistance with no strings attached. Just this year, Palm Beach County received $8 million for additional staffing. When dealing with PFAS and other environmental impacts, I can work well with our environmental committee and assist in channeling their passion and the passion I share for protecting our environment. Based on my background in public safety and disaster management, I possess an expertise that allows me to serve the council well. On day one, I'll be equipped to weigh in on public safety matters. However, I acknowledge that my perspective may be biased towards public safety, and there are issues that will require my thoughtful consideration. To mitigate this, I've established mentors, including former council members, who serve as a valuable sounding board for these matters. This council is the last line of defense to protect the lifestyle of our residents and businesses. I'm committed to preserving our unique lifestyle, improving public safety, and exploring non-tax revenue funding opportunities to enhance our town's future. I would ask the council to appoint me as interim council and allow me to join in your mission to make Tequesta an even better place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I have none. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Okay, next, Justin Basnoyan. Did I say that right? Basnoyan.
Vice Mayor, Mayor, Town Council, appreciate everybody's time today. Justin Basnoyan, 161 Gulfview Drive. I can't stand here and say that I'm a better fit than the guys and gals in this room because I don't know everybody personally enough. But what I will say is I love this community. I've been, grew up in Florida in Jacksonville, moved here 12 years ago, been in the Tequesta Country Club for 7 years. I think it's great that we have so much turnout for this event. I think that says leagues about how much people care about this community, and I'm looking to get back to the community, so looking to get more involved. As Lori knows, I've recently got more involved in our HOA. I saw this opportunity pop up and said, that sounds perfect. What can I offer to the town of Tequesta? Well, I think I'll bring some different perspectives on things, as well as maybe some fresh new ideas. Again, spent most of my life in Florida, very interested in boating, fishing, hunting, surfing, a lot of outdoors activities that only Florida really has to offer. Also a husband and father. I have a 5-year-old at home. His name's Maverick. As many people know, he lives up to the name Maverick. And I made a career out of being an engineer, specifically being a problem solver and an innovator. So I think I can, again, bring some fresh new ideas. I also think I'm trained in sniffing out BS sometimes, so that could be of value to you guys as well. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, I have none.
Okay, thank you. All right, next, Chloe Bringerud. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, it's like it's spelled. Hi, I'm Chloe Bringerud. I'm at 406 Tequesta Drive. I grew up in Tequesta. I'm raising my family in Tequesta. I do loans, residential, commercial, so I do have a pretty good understanding how development works, and I think it'd be a really cool opportunity to get a chance to, partake in what happens around me, because I do care, and we don't plan on going anywhere, and we love it here. And yeah, like kind of what he was saying, I can't say I'm a better fit than any of the other applicants, but I would, if given the chance, I think it'd be a really great opportunity to kind of see how things work on this side, and I would be really looking forward to it. All right.
Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you, Chloe.
All right,
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
And last, Thomas Bradford.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm a native Floridian, and I've lived in Orlando, St. Petersburg, West Palm Beach, and Tequesta. I've lived in numerous cities in Alabama. I've lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Charleston, South Carolina, and last but not least, Atlanta, Georgia. So I've seen different parts of America. I've traveled throughout all of America. I had a 36-year professional career in municipal government management. I was a management intern for West Palm Beach starting in '82. I segued in 10 months over to the town of Palm Beach. I stayed there 4 years. In '86, I became manager of Tequesta. And I did that for 14 years, and I went back to Palm Beach, and I rose through the ranks there and ultimately became a town manager. I've pretty much done about everything that you can think about in the world of municipal government, from major projects to minor projects to hand-holding and anything that you can imagine to try to get things done and keep the people happy and my bosses happy. Most of the time of my career was spent in a building like this and in a room just like this one. But my 37 years and the resume that I sent you, I really don't think those are the most important things. I think the most important things about me is I'm a consensus builder. I can compromise. I find ways to get the job done and try to keep the ruffling of feathers to a minimum. I am a fiscal conservative. Many people in Tequesta don't think that, but I am. I try to do the assignments that the elected officials give us at the lowest possible price to give them the best product and bang for their buck. As for the seat, I don't see it as being anything radical to be done by anybody. I would view it as a placeholder position. I am not interested in running in the election for March of 2024. I will not file to run in November 7th through 21st, I think. I just see it as a placeholder position. I'd be happy to do that. But long term, next year I'm going to be 70 years old. And I think, the newer generations like you folks are better suited for, the stress and so forth that goes with it. But I think I would be a good placeholder and can work with all of you without ruffling your feathers. And I hope you'd give me consideration to do that. And I'd be happy to serve Tequesta, which would probably be my last hurrah in a municipal capacity. So thank you for your consideration, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have none, but thank you very much, Tom.
I'm good, thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Okay, and if council's okay with that, I'll take public comment first. Any public comment tonight? Gentlemen, you can come first, and if you could state your name and your address.
Sure. My name is Jared Gaylord. I'm a new resident to Tequesta, but have lived in Hobe Sound for a number of years. Just wanted to come and speak on behalf of Ruben Cruz. I've worked with him in a land use capacity for the town of Jupiter Island. I'm usually representing the homeowners, the applicants, in their applications before either the town commission or the Board of Adjustment, which is their variance board, or Impact Review Committee, which is essentially a review process for any developments. And just to say, it's a pleasure working with Ruben. I know that he has years of experience in the municipal planning and zoning capacity. He's also a floodplain manager and worked for Juno Beach prior to his time at the town of Jupiter Island. That experience, I think, will be helpful to the village of Tequesta because a lot of what you'll end up doing is planning and zoning matters that come before this this commission. So just wanted to speak on his behalf because I know he's a man of integrity, experience, and I think he would be very helpful to the village of Tequesta. And again, I don't know if I mentioned my address, but 20 Laurel Oaks Circle, just down the street. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Namath?
Hello, my name is Jessica Namath. I'm at 20 Shady Lane in Tequesta. And I have been on a committee with Mr. Bradford for the past 4 years, I believe, and his knowledge has been invaluable to those of us that don't know how to write things or, you know, work our way through some of the procedural aspects that go with government. And his I believe that his foresight and knowledge is invaluable. But more than that, I think that this is simply, like he said, a placeholder position. And if we're looking to fill this seat with the best candidate for the job, I think that would be the most qualified and the one that is most familiar with what has been going on within the village recently. And I'm sure you all see him. I don't know how many regularly attend the meetings here, but I don't think this is a time for anyone new. I would think that this would be the time for somebody that's familiar with what's been going on and that you're all familiar with. So I would encourage you to please look to the chair of the Environmental Advisory Committee and take Mr. Thomas Bradford from us, which we would be sad to see leave, but I think would be the best, in the best interest of the village of Tequesta. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. And then real quick, I want to make sure I know there's 2 people that are on a Tequesta Board or Committee. They would have to resign, and they're aware of that. Okay. Do you have something? Sure, have at it. Good idea.
So just as a piece of information to everybody who's considering or who has applied and is seeking to be appointed, if you're not aware, and I think it's important that everyone is aware, historically, local government elected officials at the municipal level, as well as managers, attorneys, and other department head level individuals have to fill out an annual document. It's known as Form 1. It's a financial disclosure form. It's a pretty basic document. It requires you to sort of list the source of your primary revenue, your primary income. It requires you to list the source of your primary liabilities. It doesn't go into numbers or actual net worth. That law changed with this past legislative session, and as of January 1st of 2024, if you are sitting in one of these chairs, mayor or one of the other council members, you will be required, even if you're in a position that you think, well, I just want to, help bridge the gap for these through March. You have to now fill out what's called Form 6, which is called basically a full financial disclosure. And this is the same document that county commissioners and state level constitutional officers have to fill out. And this is a incredibly comprehensive and thorough document that requires you to disclose your net worth, your assets that are valued over $1,000, your liabilities, real property that you may own. It's incredibly thorough. It's incredibly detailed. It's basically, you may as well, and in fact, one of the options is to just attach your federal income tax return to the document. So, I think it's important that everyone be aware that if you're appointed into this position and you are a village council member as of January 1st, even if you're only on the council for those few months, that reporting is due at the end of June, and you will have to fill out that form, and that is a public record. So if you didn't know that, it's just important to keep in mind. And I will tell you that there are local governments here in Palm Beach County that I work for besides Tequesta, and there are a number of elected officials throughout the county who are very concerned about that. So that may or may not be you, and that's fine, but I think it, and as I asked the mayor and the manager, you at least have that information and be aware that that will be a requirement that you will have to comply with should you be appointed into that seat.
That being said, does that change anyone's mind for consideration of the vacant seat? No. Okay. All right. So I will open it up for council discussion. I would say, I think if you're in favor of appointing someone, maybe list your top two, and that might help us narrow it down if we do think we're going to lean towards appointing someone. If everyone's okay with that?
You're saying just generally in favor of appointing, but not necessarily who it is right now, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, we might not all align on the same person, so maybe if we list our top two, that can maybe help us, or not. I just want to throw it out there as a option for us to narrow it down if we do feel like we're going to appoint someone.
Okay.
So I'll open the floor.
Thank you.
Let me go first.
Sure.
So I am still in favor of us waiting until November 21st when the qualifying period ends, and we would do a special meeting right after that, and we would choose, let's say each one of us names two candidates that we feel would be a good fit for filling the temporary seat. Someone, in my opinion, could jump in right away, who's involved, active at our meetings. That way we don't have a learning curve like I think we discussed last time. And we would have a little bit of time till the December meeting to make that decision. And then the December meeting, they would be sworn in. So we would lose 1 month, we would lose the November month, but I don't believe that we have anything pressing coming to our agenda. We don't have any applications for designs or buildings that are coming our way. So I am in favor of appointing someone. I just think that we strongly should consider waiting until the qualifying period ends and then do what we're doing right now. That's where I sit right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, first off, I want to say I think it's awesome that we have this much interest in this temporary position, which I think says a lot about our village and how much people care about it. But I agree. I think that was our kind of gut feeling when this all first initially came up at the last workshop or whenever we last spoke about this. Right now, there's only 2 of the 8 who are running for council, but I guess that could change. So I am in favor. I think it's going to be hard to narrow it down because I think anybody who just got up and spoke would do a fabulous job. But obviously we will have to narrow it down, but I agree with you, Lori. I think we should wait till November 21st, after November 21st.
November 21st is the last day for qualifying period, correct?
Yeah. That being said, if we all decided that we wanted to get them in earlier, I think we could make the decision, but I think we would all feel a little better about it if we wait until November 21st. Or at least I'll speak for myself on that.
I was very vocal and very adamant about appointing somebody. I thought it's the right thing to do. I still believe it's the right thing to do for our residents, for this council, for the village as a whole. I have taken the liberty, and I reached out to some of the planners that do come before us, and I asked that very question: is there something that you feel, be it 30 days or next April, is there something coming before us? And nothing that they thought would require to have a full council. Doesn't impact my decision. But what I have been listening to since we had that last meeting was the passion that everybody that not only has applied before us this evening, but the residents that are following this. I feel now, if we were to appoint this evening, that while some people have said, and I have no reason to believe that they would not run, that said they would do that. But I think when we appoint someone, and if there's somebody appointed that we appoint is running, intends to qualify, or does qualify, does it look like we're talking about an endorsement? And I don't think 4 people should make that decision for the 3,100 voters at Tequesta. So I would like to wait until qualifying is over, exactly what our Vice Mayor said and Patrick, because then we know, who is going to qualify and would either be an advantage to that person, or we have to also understand that it could be a disadvantage to that person, depending on who nominates them and where the public sentiment lies. So I'm still adamant that I want to appoint somebody. However, I agree, and I would like to wait until after the qualifying period is over, only because giving an endorsement at this time, selecting somebody at this time could be considered an endorsement, which could be an advantage, and conversely could be a disadvantage to that person. And that's, I think, an unfair position to put anybody in based on somebody's opinion of one of the 4 of us up here.
I appreciate you saying that. I actually agree with that. It could go good, it could also go negative, and for the integrity of the council that is currently sitting up here, and for my opinion, the respect and the integrity for those who are running for the seat, I want them to have a fair chance, because it's up to them to talk to the voters, and I want the voters to really decide that. And for me, filling this seat, it really is just a temporary thing. I think every applicant that applied on this list, I mean, I know most of you, so that's pretty awesome. That's our village, right? We're a small town, and this is part of the hard part. We all know each other, we all hang out together, our kids all play together. But I think that's great. I think we're in a really good direction for our future council, knowing that there's people getting involved and following our meetings, and I really love that. So I don't want to discourage anyone that's sitting in this room. I just want you guys to know it's really just, for me, the integrity of the council, for the perception and the trust from our residents on what we're doing up here.
Okay. I have a little different view. I do think that we have 2 very qualified applicants that know government, are already involved in the village, and come or watch the council meetings, and they have said on record that they are not going to file for the seat. I think someone who on public record says that and then does the opposite is not going to be a trustworthy person that the voters might want to vote for. They might not know that, but that is my opinion. And so to fill what would be 5 meetings, I guess, if we were to appoint now, someone with that much experience could really add value right out the gate for us. Again, I do understand they could say that and change their mind and file, so we do run that risk. But I don't know. I think that's not good to lie on public record. So that's my opinion, but it seems it's council's pleasure to wait until after qualifying. So I guess that's what we're doing.
And you make good points, though.
Mayor, if I could qualify, my comment was not directed to the 2 people that have said that they did. Somebody might say, hey, my intent is to be temporary, and then go, well, I'm in. Maybe I should file. So it has nothing to do with Mr. Bradford or Ms. Mitchell at all. It was that would anticipate that. So I want to make that very, very clear on the record. This is for somebody who said, well, they never addressed it, and might say, well, maybe you'll see if I do get appointed, then maybe I will run.
Yes.
So.
And that I was not insinuating that. That was more my personal opinion. Like if I saw someone say on public record they're not doing that, and then they go and do the opposite, you're kind of like, well.
Totally agree.
So it's my personal view. So council would like to wait till after qualifying, and then how is that? And maybe Keith, we can get your guidance on this. If we have, technically 8 applicants tonight. 1 did not show up, so I don't know if we'll say 7. For all intents and purposes, we go through a qualifying period. We'll see how many people do or don't qualify. And I think the applicants would we'd have to know if they would still want to be considered. How would that work? Or would we have to open it again for applications?
You don't have to reopen the application period. Obviously, all of your collective discussions have to be done in a public setting. Whatever decision-making occurs has to be done in a public setting. So whether it's tonight or some night at a different meeting, if there's going to be a motion to narrow your short list to a very short list, or simply make a motion to appoint someone, that, again, has to be at a public noticed meeting, doesn't prevent each of you on your own from studying the materials that have been submitted that are part of the backup from tonight's meeting, and having a thought process of your own. Again, that would have to be discussed and debated, and any motions made publicly. But beyond that, the process really belongs to you. The charter simply allows the council to appoint someone into this vacancy through the next general election, which is the March election. But neither the code nor the charter give you any specific rules on that, other than the person has to be a registered voter and has had to have lived in the village for a year. Other than that, however you want to do it, as long as it's done in a public meeting, there's no secret ballots, so if you can use a written ballot, but those are still announced publicly and they're appended to the meeting minutes. They're public records. But beyond that, the process belongs to you. There's plenty of ways to do it. Like I said, if you want to recess, give it some thought, reconvene, have further discussion, narrow it down, make a motion to appoint someone. You can do all of those things. If you want to do it in writing, you can do it in writing. As if you, for example, with your suggestion, Mayor, if everyone wanted to write down their top 2 candidates, and we could tally that, come see where we are. If there's some consensus, then you could make a further motion based on that. Again, all public record, all public, all has to be disclosed publicly. Nothing secret at all. But you can do any of those things to get to the point where you select your appointment.
Okay, and so what I gather from that explanation is between now and then, what is qualifying the 21st or 22nd? 21st? Okay, so between now and the 21st, are we not opening up for applications? We're leaving it as it is? What happens when we get after qualifying period?
I would like to leave it closed.
Same.
Because
Leave it closed and on the 21st make a decision.
Yeah. Or
I figured
shortly after. It'd probably be the week of the 27th, because that's Thanksgiving. Isn't that Thanksgiving week?
What's the following?
So probably the week of the 27th, maybe even on that Monday. We can figure that out later.
What's the next council meeting in December? It's, how soon? 14th?
It has to be done by the
December
4th,
14th.
because that's the day that the agenda gets published.
Okay. So yeah, I think if we can do it the next week after Thanksgiving, that'd be good.
So the week of November 27th. And then I think, Lori, you guys can send out some dates so we can figure out best time for that. And then the council meeting on the 14th would be when we would decide.
Perfect.
Or were you want to have a special meeting before then?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think.
I'm sorry, the 27th would,
if
I'm
it's
sorry, the
possible,
week of the
based on
27th would be,
everyone's-
and then they would be sworn in at
Yeah.
the 14th, correct?
You could do that.
I mean,
I think
okay.
it's worth having a special meeting
clerk
just to
will
get.
have-
Yeah,
Better schedules.
sorry.
Yeah.
On the week of the 27th. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, can I get a motion to postpone a potential appointment until, we'll say the week of November 27th?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. And just so that I'm clear, so you're going to reconvene
Like this, a special meeting.
in a special meeting on a date to be coordinated through the clerk's office?
Correct.
Everyone, thank you so much for your time tonight. Again, I'll kind of echo what others have said. It's really great to see the passion we have in the community. We have very qualified people in this room. So again, thank you for your time and stay tuned.
Thank you.
Is it adjourned?
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
When the gentleman who stepped down, how long was he out? How many months was it? When we didn't have an open seat? Or when we had an open seat? Okay.
So you're finishing that term.
But how many months?
He was only here for 6 months.
He only sent the last.
You took over Aaron's seat in the special election.
get the
Yeah.
So